So this is Act 3 and Scene 1, right? So, okay, this act starts like the court at Malfi several years later. Okay, so now wherever we left in our last lecture, like Act 2, Scene 5, so there was the discussion going on between Ferdinand and Cardinal. Like they were discussing about the Duchess, like what she had done with her brothers. Okay, so Ferdinand was very angry on her, and this was where we ended our last scene. So this now new scene it starts. This is several years later. Okay, so now enter Antonio and Delio. And Antonio, our noble friend, my most beloved Delio. Oh, you have been a stranger long at court. Came you along with the Lord Ferdinand. So now, in the last scene, we saw that Delio he was in Rome, and we also saw the dialogue between Delio and Julia. So Delio was in Rome, and Ferdinand was also in Rome in the last scene. But this is because after passing a lot of time, so now we are discussing many years later. So this is now they are back to the palace of Malfi. So now Antonio is talking to his friend Daniel. So he's saying that our noble friend, my most beloved Delio, oh, you have been a stranger long at court. Came you along with the law with the Lord Ferdinand. So now here the first thing he is kind of welcoming to his friend Dalio, and second thing he is also indicating that Ferdinand has also come back. Okay, so now then Dalio, I did, sir, and how fares your noble Duchess? So Dalio is directly coming to the Duchess and he's asking about the Duchess, like how's she? Antonio, right, fortunately well. She's an excellent feeder of pedigrees. Since you last saw her, she had two children more, a son and daughter. So he's saying that she's fine. And here the words feeder of pedigree. So he's talking about the royal lineage. You know, she has given birth to two other two children as well, um, one son and one daughter. We know that she had one son. You know, she had given birth to a son in earlier scenes we had saw. You know, we had seen these that thing. So now uh, she has had two children more, a son and daughter. Now she has given birth to a son and daughter, so now she has three children. So Dalio, methinks it was yesterday. Let me wink and not behold your face, which to mine eye is somewhat leaner. Verily, I should dream it were within this half hour. So he's saying that the time as it has passed, so it seems that it is just like a kind of wink of an eye. Or here he's saying like it's just like in half an hour. You know, it has passed so quickly. Then Antonio, you're not been in law, friend Delio, nor in prison, nor a suitor at the court, nor begged the reversion of some great man's place, nor troubled with an old wife, which doth make you times so insensibly hasten. So he's saying that because a kind of he's talking about kind of completely free man. So he's saying you haven't been involved in any kind of lawsuit or uh, and nor in prison you haven't done anything wrong so that you could go to jail, and nor a suitor at the court. Suitor, a person who loves any woman. So he's saying because you are completely alone, you are completely free, so that's why you are saying that the time has passed very quickly. So Delio, pray sir, tell me, hath not this news arrived yet to the ear of the Lord Cardinal? So he's asking whether the news of the child, whether the news of your marriage, uh, uh, has been has been revealed to Cardinal. Does he know about your marriage? So Antonio, I fear it has. So Antonio thinks like uh, Duchess brothers, they know about their marriage. Or he doubts. I'm not sure that whether he is completely sure or he doubts that they know. The Lord Ferdinand, that's newly come to court, doth bear himself right dangerously. So he's saying like the Lord Ferdinand who has come here to Malfi. So he's saying that he has brought with him something, or he's saying like he can be his arrival here can be somewhat dangerous in this regard. Delio, pray, why? Antonio, he's so quiet that he seems to sleep. The tempest out as dormice do in winter. These houses that are haunted are most still till the devil be up. So he's talking about the behavior of the Ferdinand and what he has observed. Uh, okay, what he has observed from the behavior of Ferdinand, like he's behaving just just like a very quiet person, and so he is indicating that thing, or he's comparing it with the coming of a storm, like there's completely silence before any storm. So he's saying that he's completely quiet, but he doubts that there is something. Okay, something is going to happen. Tell you. What say the common people? So he's asking about the views, like what the common people know about this thing, like about your relationship. Antonio, the common rabble do directly say she's a strumpet. So he's saying that they are, they directly uh, say this thing. It's like it has become something very common among the common people, like they say about the Duchess, like she is strumpet, a derogatory term. uh, it is the word which is used for prostitute of war. Tell you, and your graver heads, which would be politic, what censure they? So now he's talking about those people, call them sensible people, and those who are involved in politics, are the matters of the royal court, are his seniors. So he's saying, what do they think about this? So okay, okay, censure, right? So what are their views on this? So Antonio, they do observe I grow so infinite purchase the left hand way, and all suppose the Duchess would amend it if she could. For they say, great princes, though they grudge their officers, should have such large and unconfined means to get wealth under them, will not complain, lest thereby they should make them odious unto the people. For other obligation of love or marriage between her and me they never dream of. So here Antonio is saying, like, they do observe I grow to infinite purchase, the left hand way, and all suppose the Duchess. Okay, so here he's saying that they also observe that, like, about his expenditures, his appearance, the way of living as Antonio lives there. So these all things, have changed. after his marriage with the Duchess, so these his overall living style has changed. So he's saying that they all observed this thing, and left hand way, you can call it something in a secret, like uh, so suppose the Duchess would imagine, okay, so uh I grow. Okay, so they are saying that secretly I have, I have gained these all things, are the resources, are something beyond my whatever I can afford. So, and here it is that all suppose the Duchess would amend it if she, okay, so Duchess can take action on this if she knows about this, about my expenditure. Here you can call it something, the money, that whatever that he has got. So these all things are coming illegally, means he doing something wrong, a kind of corruption. So, and Duchess can take action of this if she knows about these all things. For, say they, great princes, though they crush their officers, should have such large and unconfined means to get wealth under them, and will not complain, lest thereby they should make them odious unto the people. Right. So this here, it is like, she can take action on this, but if she thinks like, it like it is better not to talk about this thing, or not to ask him about his resources, or from where he has got these all things, that the money or the illegal money, whatever he's doing, about his lifestyle. So then here in the last lines, it is, for other obligation of love or marriage between her and me, they never, okay, so he's saying that they don't know about my relationship with the Duchess. So they think like I have unknown means of earning money, or I'm doing corruption, so that my living style has completely changed. Okay, Delio, the Lord Ferdinand is going to bed. So now Delio is indicating, or he has observed something like Lord Ferdinand is going to bed. Then enter Duchess, Ferdinand, and Bosola. So Ferdinand, I'll instantly to bed, for I'm weary. I'm to bespeak a husband for you. So here Ferdinand is saying that I'm going to bed, like I'm immediately going to bed, because I'm tired, but I'm to bespeak a husband for you. But he's saying that I want to talk with you, for your husband. So he is uh, telling to his sister, like, his thoughts have changed regarding her marriage. Initially they had said to their sister like she could not marry, but now he's saying like, I want to talk to you, for your husband. So Duchess, for me, sir, pray, who is it? Okay. And then Ferdinand, the great Count Malatesti. So he is talking someone in the court, a kind, who serves there. So Malatesti, Mala word means, Mala means bad. Testy, it indicates someone, who not a good person. Something. Put a good name, like, okay. And here you can see that the meaning, the exact meaning of the name. Okay, so that is fire upon him, account. he's a mystic of sugar candy. So he's saying, she's saying like he's a man of just sugar candy. You may look quite through him. When I choose a husband, I will marry for your honor. Okay, so these are the views of the Duchess about this person. So she, doesn't like the person, as uh, we can see from her words. So, Ferdinand, you shall do well in it. How is it worthy, Antonio? So then he comes to Antonio. Maybe he wants to know about her husband, so that's why he's giving a different name, so that he just wants to know about her views. That what does she say? Um, or maybe he wants to get the idea like about her husband. So Duchess, but sir, I'm to have private conference with you about a scandalous report is spread touching my honor. So she was also aware of this thing, like why he is talking about these all things. So she's saying, I have to talk to you something about a scandalous thing which is going on, regarding me, like the people are talking something, uh, something something wrong about me. So I want to talk to you uh, on that matter. Ferdinand, let me be ever deaf to it. One of Pascal's paper bullets. Quote, calumny, a pestilent air which princes' palaces are seldom purged of. Yet say that it were true. I pour it in your bosom, my fixed love. Okay. Then would strongly excuse, extenuate, nay, deny, false were they apparent in you. Go, be safe in your own innocency. Okay. So, are you going to explain this? Can you read these lines?
You want me to read it?
Yes. From here?
Let me be ever deaf to it, one of Pascal's paper bullets, court calumny, a pestilent air which princes' palaces are seldom purged of, yet say that if it were true, I pour it on your bosom, my fixed love.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, yes.
Would
From here.
strongly excuse, accentuate, nay deny faults whether apparent in you, go be safe in your own innocency.
Okay, what do you think of these all lines? Any guess?
I think he's just telling her to like ignore it.
Okay, okay, yes. Okay, so here it is, let me be ever deaf to it. So here from the very first line, we can think, we can take it in this way that, um uh, you know, uh, I don't, he is behaving like I don't want to listen such stupid things. Okay, so in a way he's behaving so that he is, very confident about his sister. So whatever is going on, that all the hearsay, whatever it's going on, whatever the people are talking about his sister, so he doesn't care about these all things, and in the very first line he just wants to say, oh, leave it, I don't want to listen such things, right? But then here he's saying, okay, if there is something, first of all he's saying that there isn't anything, there will not be anything, because I know you. And then he's saying, oh, okay, if there will be anything, so I'll not believe in it. Okay, so he's just making her completely confident, so that she should be easier to tell him whatever he wants to know. Okay. Duchess oblast comfort. This deadly air is purged. So she, I think, for that moment, she takes it seriously, and she thinks like, he is very sincere about this. Whatever he's saying, the words he's using. So exit all but Ferdinand and Bosola. So now there are Ferdinand and Bosola. Ferdinand, her guilt treads on hot burning cultures. Now Bosola, how thrives our intelligence. So here he's saying her guilt trades on hot burning cultures. So here you can see the meaning, the historical meaning, the word from where this word has been taken. So here you can see the meaning, and this is going to help you to translate this word. Um, Cultures, here kind of blades, which were uh, given to the woman who were thought like they were lecherous or were done something wrong. So they were, you know forced to walk on those blades harmlessly. If they would have passed those blades, so it was thought like they haven't done something wrong. So this is how he is using these words here. But and then here he is just saying, the what about your intelligence? So Basola, so uncertainly, this rumored she hath had 3 bastards, but by whom we may go read in the stars. So he is saying that this is, this he and now he knows this thing, like she has given birth to 3 children. He is using the word bastard. And, maybe he still thinks like she is not married, so that's why he's using the word bastards for her children. But and then here he's saying, by whom, he wants to say that we don't know the person, the father of these children. Ferdinand, why some hold opinion all things are written there. So because he was talking about the stars, the people who believe in uh, uh, in something like in the study of the stars, the people who believe like, so that's why about that kind of belief he's saying, like why some hold opinion all things are written there. So Basola, yes, if we could find spectacles to read them, I do suspect there had been some sorcery used on the Duchess. So he's saying, yes, this can be true. And he's saying, if we can find out, so he's saying that there is kind of sorcery and a witchcraft are something, magical. So kind of black magic. So sorcery, witchcraft. Okay. So he's saying, whatever she has done, so this is not by her own choice, her own will. This is something sorcery, kind of witchcraft. So Ferdinand, sorcery to what purpose? Basola, to make a dot on some desertless fellow she shames to acknowledge. So this is what he wants to say, that there she hasn't done anything by herself, but there is some kind of witchcraft which has made her to do this thing. Ferdinand, can you fate give way to think there's power in potions and charms to make us love whether we will or no? So he's saying that do you really believe in those things, like that things are such kind of uh, you know uh, the things which are used by those people, the people who do the magic or who believe in witchcraft. So the potions is are the things which are used by them, and the charm is something again related to magic. So he's saying, So do you really believe in these things? Like these things can make us really do whatever we want to or we don't want to do? Basola, most certainly, Ferdinand, away. These are mere galleries, horrid things invented by some cheating mountebanks to abuse us. Do you think that herbs or charms can force the will? Some trials have been made in this foolish practice, but the ingredients were lenitive poisons, such as are a force to make the patient mad and straight the witch. Swears by equivocation they are in love. The witchcraft lies in her rank blood. This night I'll force confession from her. Okay, you told me you had got within these 2 days a false key into a bedchamber. So here he's saying, so he it seems like he doesn't believe in these things, whatever Basola was talking. So he's saying that these are uh, these are, you know, foolish things to believe. Okay, and he's saying if if someone talks about these things, these are just to to make money from us, from people who believe on them. So this is not the thing, like she has been forced to do something which he didn't wanted to do. But here he's saying like this is she has done by her own will. The line with this line, the witchcraft lies in her rank blood. So this is what, this is not anything done by someone else, but this is what which is in her own blood. So this has been done by her own self. So he's saying, I'm going to force her to confess this thing. And here he's asking for the keys, which Basola told him that Basola has some false keys, duplicate keys of her bedchamber. So he's saying, you had got within these 2 days a false key into our bedchamber, Basola. I have. Ferdinand, as I would wish. Basola, what do you intend to do? Ferdinand, can you guess? So Basola, no. Ferdinand, do not ask then. He that can compass me and know my drifts may say he had put a girdle about the world. He sounded and sounded all her quicksands. So he's saying that if a person can know me, it means he can know everything about the world. So he's talking about his behavior, the nature, or his complex personality. Basola, I do not think so. Ferdinand, what do you think then? Pray. Basola, that you're on chronicle too much and grossly flatter yourself. So he's saying that whatever you are saying, you are just praising yourself. You are talking too much about yourself, something which is not you know exactly true. So Ferdinand, give me thy hand, I thank thee. I never gave pension but to flatterers, till I entertain thee. Farewell. Their friend a grand man's ruin strongly checks, who rails into his belief all his defects. So he's saying he's asking for his hand. Maybe he is giving him something in return, whatever he was just whatever that he was talking with. Okay. So whatever Basola remarked about the Ferdinand, because he was very straight in his remarks, he was very blatant in his remarks. So whatever he felt about Ferdinand, so he was um, giving his views in a straight way. So he's saying that I give reward for that thing, that when there are people who are going to tell you about your faults, everything about yourself, so that then you can know about your uh, about yourself, that where are you doing something wrong. Okay, so this was the end of act 3 and scene 1. Now it is act 2. Okay, so act 2, it starts. So that was the scene which ended there when Ferdinand and Bosola, they were talking to each other. Now the Duchess chambers. Later that night entered Duchess Antonio and Carayola. So this is the same night. And now this discussion is going on in the Duchess chambers, where Duchess Antonio and Carayola are present there. Okay, so now, Duchess, bring me the casket hither and the glass. You get no lodging here tonight, my lord. Okay, so she is talking about her, about you know makeup kit, or about the comb or the vanity box, and the glass, the mirror. Okay, and you get no lodging here tonight, my lord. So she's asking to Antonio, like, you are not going to spend your time uh, here, with me. So Antonio, indeed, I must persuade one. Duchess, very good. I hope in time 'twill grow into a custom that noblemen shall come with cap and me to purchase a night's lodging of their wives. So here she's saying that the way they were living, because their relationship was secret. So that's why she's saying. So she's saying that a time will come when husbands will also take permission of living with their wives, although it is the right of our husband to live with his wife, but because as they were living secretly, so that's why she's saying. Okay, Antonio, I must lie here. Duchess, must, you are a lord of misrule. Okay, then Antonio, indeed, my rule is not in the night. That is, to what use will you put me? Antonio, we'll sleep together. Duchess, alas, what player can two lovers find in sleep? Crayola, my lord, I lie with her often, and I know she'll much disquiet you. Okay. Antonio, see, you are complained of. Crayola, for she is a okay, for she is the spoilingest bad fellow. This would mean here, like, she spreads herself on the bed. Okay, she completely spreads herself on the bed. Antonio, I shall like her the better for that. This thing of Duchess, Carayola, this is the thing which Carayola doesn't like, but Antonio likes her this way. Okay, of lying. Carayola, sir, shall I ask you a question? Antonio, I pray thee, Carayola. Then Carayola, wherefore still, when you lie with my lady, do you rise so early? Okay, Antonio, laboring man, uh, count the clock often as Crayola, are glad when their tasks ended. Okay, so this is what he is talking about, like Antonio is jokingly compares himself in bed to a worker who hates his job and watches the clock. This is what, maybe this is something which is okay. Maybe this is what, he's talking about his time which he spends with the Duchess, like as he wakes up very early in the morning, or he leaves her room. So this was a question which Cariola asked him, and he's saying like, this is the time which he passes there is just like a person, who is very much, who is just busy, or who just thinks of his time, who hates his job and watches the clock. uh, this is what it is indicating, like, their relation was secret, so he just leaves the place so quickly, or he wakes up very early. Duchess, I'll stop your mouth. So she kisses him. Antonio, nay, that's but one. Venus had two soft doves to draw her chariot. I must have another. Kiss her. So in return, he is kissing her. When wilt thou marry Cariola? So this is the question Antonio is asking. Like, when are you going to marry Cariola? Never, my lord. So Cariola saying that never. Antonio, oh fie upon this single life, forgo it. So he's saying, like, leave this life of living as a single. Okay, we read how Daphne, for her peevish flight, became a fruitless battery. She rings turned to the pale empty reed, and its annexurate was frozen into marble, whereas those which married are proved kind unto their friends, were by gracious influence transshaped into the olive, pomegranate, mulberry, became flowers, precious stones, are eminent stars. So here is what he is comparing her life, Crayola's life as a single person. So he is giving different examples from the history, and he's talking about those females who lived without, who lived, as single, who didn't marry. So their life was just like, it was, their life was completely empty, and it was fruitless. Okay, just like barren lands. And then he here then is comparing to those women who married and proved kind into their friends. Her friends is, indicating towards their husbands, were by gracious influence transshaped into the olive form. So they, okay. So this is what, these are the historical figures. So they when they didn't marry, so they were just like fruitless trees, and these and the other women who married, so they were just like, kind trees with full of fruits. Okay. Carayola, this is a vain poetry, but I pray you tell me. So she is saying, she is not interested in this thing, and she's saying this is just a poetry. And if there were proposed,